I hope you've got your coffee ready because last week was amazing. So let's get into this. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Weekend Review. Before we get started here, you know there's something we've got to do, and that is the fact that I am not a financial advisor. All of this information on this channel is meant to be educational and for entertainment purposes only. I'm just a boring old guy who is sharing his plan on how he is going to retire. You need to talk to a financial advisor for your own information. Do your own research. Trading and investing does involve risk, and you can lose everything. So again, I am not a financial advisor. I want to thank everybody who has joined us this week. I want to really thank everybody who's joined us on the journey in the past couple weeks. We're up to 751 as of before recording, 751 subscribers. I can't thank you enough. This channel was only like at 500 something and has been really slow incremental growth since 2021. We've found our peeps. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate everybody. If you haven't subscribed yet, what's your problem? You don't just watch this video and subscribe. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff down the road. We're going to buy some land. We're going to buy a house, build a house. We're going to build a winery. And it's all going to be because of this. It's all going to be because of you watching and participating in these videos. And those of you who are right now, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Everything that is on here when we talk about all of our securities, all of our holdings, you can follow that on Blossom. All of those are on Blossom, and Blossom is free. It is a free application. It's a social trading. You can learn a lot. There's a lot of great stuff on there. So click. All these links are in the bottom, by the way. And none of this, I am not sponsored by any of these. I do get some sort of reward, which is kind of cool. But all these are free to do. So check out and follow my and other people's portfolios on Blossom. So go check that out. I do get $5 if you go pro. You don't need to go pro. You can just join and watch. As you get better, then you may decide to. I'm pro on there just because of the fact that I'm doing so much more. And again, subscribe. Greatly appreciate you subscribe. You can always buy me a beer also. It would be much appreciated. Or if you want, buy me a coffee, as always. And then Robinhood, if you do decide that you want to really get into this and you want a good platform. Again, this is not sponsored by Robinhood. The link to Robinhood, that's what I use. Not exclusively, but I really like Robinhood. It's really good. So, and I get a share and you get a share if you decide to join Robinhood. Excuse me. I think the last video was belching too. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, so let's get back to this. So before we get going, what are your goals? Why are you doing this? And that really is what it is. Your why. Why are you wanting to do what you're doing? Where do you want to invest? What are your goals? And when you have your goals, how are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? What is your plan? You need to decide. You need to figure that out. Once you figure out what your goal is, whether it's make an extra $100 a week, or if it is to, like us, we want to buy the land, we want to build a house, we want to build the winery. That is our goal. So how are we going to get there? You have to figure that out. If you're taking a trip, for example, we live in Virginia. Let's say we want to go to Florida, we want to go to Orlando, or go see a SpaceX launch, which would be really cool. Let's say Texas, go watch Starship launch. But we have to figure out how to get there. What roads are we going to take? Are we going to fly? Where are we going to stay? Where are we going to park when we get there? You got to figure all that out in your goal and develop a plan. And once you develop that plan, you need to stick to that plan. Now, if something goes wrong in that plan, you have to be flexible and make changes to that plan. And so, that's my little 2 cents today, my little educational portion of this. Figure out what your goal is, figure out how you're going to get there, and put that plan together. And there's a ton of people on Blossom that can help you with that. There's a lot of great people on Blossom, so highly encourage you to join Blossom. All right. So, I talk about my plan in this video from Wednesday. Check out that video. It's actually a really good video. Get into a lot of detail as far as what we're doing, where the money's going, those types of things. And my plan is going to change over time. It just does. Your plan is going to change, but I have a solid basis of what I'm doing, and I'm flexible. I'm definitely. So go back and check this video. So big changes this week. So we are shifting all of the Roth from E-Trade over to Robinhood. Actually, what we are doing, or what I am doing, I should say, well, it's we. You're all part of the journey. So what we are doing is we're moving everything basically over to Robinhood. I'm going to leave my the three. I have several things that are in. I have three ETFs that are in Robinhood right now. I'm probably just going to leave them there, and I'm just going to funnel the funds off and send it over to Robinhood. Got some money over in Citibank also, but for the Roth, I've moved the entire Roth from E-Trade over to Robinhood because of the fact that I feel I have a lot more control. Number one is that the dividend reinvestment is better on Robinhood than it is on E-Trade. You can buy more. Again, this is all in that last video. Go check out the last video. We'll get into that's not the subject of this video. But anyway, so we shifted everything from Roth to E-Trade. Also thoroughly implemented the plan to buy Bitcoin. So whoops, I don't even have that up. Sorry, kids. All right, there we go. All right, so here are our distributions for the week. As you can see, we got three that are up. Palantir was up, ULTY was up, and YMAX were up. So that is cool. We're happy about that. We were paid $332.95 this week, down almost $20. But you know what? We still got paid over $300 for doing absolutely nothing, which is cool. I'm very happy about that. Down 5.5%. Not bad. Not bad at all. Here's the cool stuff. This is what's freaking awesome. So in Robinhood, in our trading this week, finally closed that Bitminer trade I had for open since Friday before last. I traded again in Riot, traded again in Robinhood, and went right back. And I bought more Bitminer yesterday as well, which took off and then dropped. But you know what? I got it. I got out at a good spot. So I added over $700. I added over $700 to the retirement account in a week. That's awesome. To me, that is really cool in trading. So, and what did I do with that? I put it back into Bitcoin and also the ETFs. Now, I've had a lot of people argue with me on this one, and I don't care. It's a good discussion to have. I consider anything that I win or I gain house money. Okay, that is not money that I went out and I earned. That is actually house money. And if you go to Vegas or you go any of the casinos and you win something, that is not your money. That is the house's money. Until you walk out the door and put it in your bank account, it is not your money. The house wants you to come back and they want you to gamble more so they can take it back from you. So that is house money that I am using. It's winnings. So I am rolling it back into more safe things that I'm not so much gambling with. So keep that in mind. That is not your money until you put it into your bank account. And right now, none of these are in a bank account when you initially win them. So I just wanted to throw that out to you. That to me, it's really important. All right. So again, not money out of my paycheck. I have to show you this. So this is my Robinhood account as of Thursday. Okay. When you go all the way to the left-hand side, this is March of 2018 when I first got into Robinhood. So I did absolutely nothing for a while. Then 2020 got a little bit active. 2021 did some options training, and then it just took a nosedive. Was not very happy about that. When you see this $8,000 right here, so basically that's the amount of money that I plugged into Robinhood to try to make money. Did nothing for a little while. Discovered some AI trading thing that they were allowing AI to do some trading, so I tried that. It did a little bit of nothing. And then in October of 2023, I came up with a plan, and I stuck to that plan. I made a couple mistakes along the way, but I came up with a plan how I'm going to really make some money in Robinhood trading, and I implemented that plan, and it started to grow, and it really started to grow and grow. Made a stupid trade, got out of it, and it's taken off. Friday, or maybe it was Thursday, I can't remember what, we finally went green in our Robinhood account. This is about 2021. Actually, you know what? We went red. We went red right out of the gate. I'm just going to say it. Right out of the gate, we went red on the left-hand side. We were red. But we are now officially green in our Robinhood account. And I think That is just absolutely amazing. It took forever, but I'm in the green in my Robinhood account finally. And you got to look at that right-hand side. Look at that spike. That spike is from, I think that was January, February, March. Yeah, it was like February, March, and then it just took off. Even in the whole, this is not April. This is August maybe. Anyway, but it just took off. Look at that straight line down, flat, straight line up, and we're going straight up from this point. Absolutely amazing. So absolutely amazing. Come on, there you go. And you can go into Robinhood. I've got a couple good videos on there. I'm done losing money is probably the biggest one. That's the one that really kind of talked about it. So go check those videos out on YouTube. There's a whole playlist, trading playlist. You can go back and look at those. I've had a couple requests to start doing some trading videos, so I may do that as well. So keep an eye out for those. All right, so what did I do with the house money? Again, it's the house's money until you do something with it. So first off, we paid the credit card. Good, important to get rid of debt. I got rid of the MicroStrategies and I bought into the Bitcoin and gold ETF, BTGD. It's a good one. It's a solid one that only holds Bitcoin and gold, and those are only going up. And then I also in Robinhood we bought some more Bitcoin as well. All right, what else do we do? Okay, so we added to our portfolio. So these are the shares that we added. You're going to see a lot more of these decimal points because in Robinhood I can do that. I cannot do that in E-Trade. So those are all the decimal points. And so here's our holdings as of the end of the week. Everybody's up a little bit, so which is cool. You're going to see a lot more decimal points coming up. Those holdings at the end of the week. So, estimated for next week's payout. So, both Coin and Robinhood are up significantly, which is very, very cool. Excited about that. Robinhood, we know why that is because it actually got into the S&P 500. So, we're going to see lots of good things coming from the Roundhouse Robinhood fund. Very cool. Very, very cool. And keep going. And then, yes, Coney. Coney's coming out next week. Yay! That is my once every 4 week ETF. So that is coming. So pretty jazzed about that. That's probably going to be about $160 some. Probably more than that because Coinbase has been up a bit. So maybe 200. Who knows? We will find out. We'll find out very, very soon. End of the week balances. You can see that big shift from E-Trade over to Robinhood, Coinbase, and then our balance now is at 46, so we are only $3,700 off our $50,000 goal. That's our first goal. That's only our first goal. Hit that 50. We're gonna hit that. We're gonna hit that 50 before November. Absolutely. Absolutely. Blossom says I'm gonna hit it in 3 months, but Blossom doesn't take into account of cash that's used for trading, so it thinks I'm at 32. It's wrong. It doesn't know the real math, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, so there we are off our goal. And so for the month right now, this is what we've earned, total 685. Again, you're going to see these big numbers move from E-Trade over to Robinhood, and you can see Robinhood explode as far as earnings and money. And then here's the estimates. So if nothing changes, if everything stays exactly the way it is now, where did my mouse go? There's my mouse. If everything stays exactly the way it is right now, these are the numbers that we're going to have. So we're looking at $400 weekly, $1,800 a month, a quarter of the way to $100,000. That does not take into account any of the Robinhood trading. Does not take into account any of the dripping that we're doing into our different ETFs. It does not take into account anything extra. This is exactly as if nothing changes today. And it's going to change. It's definitely going to change. So thank you all very much for joining us again. Thank you to everybody who's joined the journey in the past couple weeks. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Join me on Blossom. And have yourself an absolutely wonderful day. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Leave me some comments. And we will see you next week. Enjoy your Saturday.